our second conversation for today as we find out more about things we can do to protect ourselves from the new coronavirus. We're joined by nutritionist Doris Sutherland. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So Doris, everyone's trying to figure out what they can do to build themselves up so that their bodies can be more resilient to this new virus that we're still learning about. I'm sure you've been asked this question many times over the past few weeks.
Yes, certainly at this time we see that there are a large number of people recurring to a lot of supplements, to a lot of medications to help strengthen their immune system.
Yes.
Okay, we also see that they would tend to follow the recommendations from the World Health Organization, but we also see that they are taking more things in than what they should be taking. Okay.
So let's start with supplements, because I think that's the natural gravitation that people are taking. I was told you can't even find vitamin C boosters or supplements in the country anymore. Do we need to be taking vitamin C?
Well, not necessarily. Right now, if you're getting enough vitamin C from the foods that you eat, or vitamin D or any other type of immune boosters, you don't necessarily need to take the supplement. However, there are reasons why a person would be recommended vitamin C or vitamin D, for example, or even vitamin A and zinc, which are also known as immune boosters as well.
Yeah.
Now, if we start with vitamin C, which is the most common one that we see many people taking, okay, right now there are no studies that are saying that the vitamin C can prevent you from having the coronavirus. Okay, however, in China, they are giving patients very large doses of vitamin C, up to 24 grams, okay, which is the same thing as 2,400 milligrams of vitamin C every day to see if the patients are improving. Okay, and our daily recommendation is only 90 milligrams. So they're giving them very high doses. Now, these results unfortunately won't be available until September, but preliminary results are showing that that it does have some effect, but they're not sure if it's necessarily from the vitamin C or it could be related to antibiotics or other types of medications that they're giving. However,
Let me ask a question quickly. There is the understanding that too much of one thing may not be good for anything, right? So if we're saying that we're treating with a very high dosage, quote unquote, of vitamin C, doesn't that come with its own side effects if you have too much of that
if
in
you
the
have
system?
too much, yes. Vitamin C is water soluble, okay, meaning that when you take too much vitamin C, it doesn't store in the body like other types of vitamin like A, D, E, or K, meaning that the excess, we tend to pass it through the urine, okay? However, taking too much vitamin C, especially very high dose, over 1,000 milligrams a day, you may experience cramps, okay, you may experience nausea, and for some people long term it could lead to kidney stones. Okay, so there are side effects of taking too much vitamin C.
Okay, so what can we eat? Like if I were to have over the course of the day my daily intake of vitamin C, what do I have to consume?
Okay, as I said, the normal recommendation for men is 90 milligrams and for females is about 75 milligrams.
Okay.
Now, just having 2 oranges a day, you get the 90 milligrams that is recommended. Now, this is something we should have started a very long time ago in order to get our vitamin C levels normal, okay, all the time. So if we do consume oranges or we take other sources like, for example, red bell peppers, if we do bananas, we do tomatoes, sweet potatoes are also very high in vitamin C, green vegetables, especially broccoli. Okay, so there are many food sources that do contain vitamin C.
So there's a trick to this. If you look at red and yellow and orange fruits or vegetables, they're actually usually rich in vitamin C. So also you're looking at oranges, grapefruits, bananas, tomatoes, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers. What else do we have as a regular part of our diet?
Limes,
kiwi.
Kiwi is also a good source of vitamin C.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say if we have at least 3 of these sources throughout the day, we get more than our daily recommended.
So if I have a banana and an orange a day, am I meeting?
You're meeting a little bit more than recommended, but still not on the higher dose.
All right. So that's what we can do. So vitamin C is one of the things that we can take to boost our immune system. What other recommendations would you make?
Okay. Also, vitamin D is very important.
D.
Studies have shown that taking vitamin D before you get sick is important, not when you already have it. However, the difference between the vitamin D and the C is that when you have, when you're consuming foods with vitamin C, this would tend to shorten your days of having a cold. Meanwhile, the vitamin D kind of like alerts your body before you get sick, so that our immune system starts to begin the protection from early on.
Okay.
Now, vitamin D, you can only find it in specific foods like fortified milk that has vitamin D, in fatty fish like salmons, sardines, mushrooms. So it's not in a wide variety of foods.
Yeah.
Okay, so people would tend to have more deficiency of vitamin D compared to vitamin C.
Okay.
But I see on your chart there eggs and cheese.
Not necessarily. Well, milk, yes. Milk would dairy or anything related to would have vitamin D, but not like the papaya wouldn't have as much avocados, melons. Okay, those
That's
would
a
have
better
more
one.
vitamin C. Yeah,
That
vitamin
one is
D would
accurate.
have these. Okay, but if we, let's say, if we're allergic to milk or dairy, or if we have an allergy to fish, then that means that maybe you're not getting enough vitamin D. So then maybe you should take a vitamin D test to see if your vitamin D levels are normal or if you may require.
So you can get vitamin D
supplement.
fortified milk.
Yes.
Yeah, and that will be helpful in terms of getting in
Of
your
getting in.
your intake for D.
For D.
Some of the dairy products definitely fatty fish. Okay. What else?
Also, zinc. Okay, zinc is a very popular remedy for immune boosters.
Yeah.
Studies have shown also that zinc may help, but if you're already getting enough foods from zinc, you don't necessarily need to supplement on zinc.
Okay. What foods have zinc?
Zinc, we find it in many things that we eat. You find it in meat. You find it in beef, pork. Okay,
I see
you
the
find
nuts
it
are
in
there.
fish, nuts. Okay, the highest source of nuts with zinc is cashews. Okay,
Oh.
so maybe if you have like a serving of cashew every day, you would be getting zinc as well.
Okay.
Okay, you find it in the spinach, the dark green vegetables, beans, seeds, mushrooms,
Chickpeas?
okay, chickpeas. So we don't necessarily always have a deficiency in zinc compared to vitamin D. So normally everybody would have
Okay.
good levels of this.
What other foods should we definitely be trying to get in?
Other than that, only probiotics. Okay, since our immune system is located mostly in our digestive system, now what we eat will affect how our immune system will work. So
Yeah.
you want to get in foods with probiotics. Unfortunately, most of foods that have
We
probiotics
don't
are not
eat,
too common
yeah.
here, except for the
Yogurt.
probiotic yogurt.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe a serving of yogurt
Oh, I
every
see
day
yogurt
would
and I
give
see
you
pickles. So
Okay.
pickles.
You're covered?
so
But
much.
yogurt, you have to get it with the probiotics, right? But there are also probiotic pills. Can you take
Yes.
those?
No, if you're taking the yogurt, you don't really need to take the probiotic pills.
Okay.
Normally, the probiotic pills are only recommended when you're having some digestive issues like malabsorption and not being able to process your foods well, then they might give you the probiotics.
Now, that was one I couldn't understand. Why would probiotics or your digestive system matter in your immune system?
Because what we, like I said, what we eat will affect how the immune system works.
Yeah.
Okay. Probiotics are live bacteria, meaning that they are healthy bacteria that our gut needs to work properly. Okay, so our immune system fuels on these healthy bacteria for it to prevent us from any type of virus or
Yeah.
infectious disease.
Okay. Now, we've talked of some of the foods we can definitely get in. So we're talking about bright yellow, red, oranges for your vitamin C. We've talked of zinc, vitamin D, and you're saying very clearly if you can't get enough vitamin D, then maybe you should take a supplement. That's one that you would suggest? Okay. Now, let's talk about some of these myths, though, because there are a lot of things going around about what will make you healthy or unhealthy. Garlic.
Yes, garlic is very common. Not only garlic, but also like the oregano oil and the lemon tea. Okay, these things might help. However, it is not 100% recommended as a treatment for the common cold or the common flu. What it can do is alleviate the symptoms, meaning that maybe your cough won't be as bad as when you first got sick, or your cold might not be as bad. Okay. Normally people would tend to boil it with water or just drink it just like that. Okay, if you find a remedy that helps for you, then you can use it. But I wouldn't say to recommend only on that and not seek medical treatment, because you're not going to get the correct treatment.
Well, I've seen quite a bit of stuff that talks of, you know, garlic and hot water killing the virus, or preventing you from getting the virus. But viruses, even in treatment, aren't killed. They take their course. So if you take garlic, it may just reduce the symptoms, but not necessarily affect the cause.
Prevent you from the cold. Reduce the symptoms, but it will not prevent you from getting or a coronavirus or pneumonia or any other type of virus.
Any other myths that you've been seeing quite a bit of that you'd like to dispel?
Not necessarily. However, I would recommend that we don't overdo on many of these supplements, especially if we're taking more than one at the same time. If we want to do stuff like garlic or natural herbs, it's better that you get it from the plant, okay? And then you make your tea directly from the plant and not necessarily from a plant, meaning that you don't want to be taking these things in pill forms or so on, because you don't exactly know what is in it.
That makes sense.
So what's the difference between ingesting the food for the nutrient versus a supplement? Does your body accept one easier than the other?
Not really. Normally, well, the difference is that the supplement has a way higher dose than the food. Okay, all supplements that we would buy have more than our recommended daily intake, meaning that we would be ingesting way too much compared to the food that we eat. But the absorption is the same. There is a difference when you're getting intravenous vitamin C, though, because then that one goes into the body fast and acts faster than you actually eating the food or taking the pill. Okay, and then this is what they're giving the patients with coronavirus in China. Okay, the intravenous vitamin C, which tends to work faster than the pill form.
Okay, and other things that you can do to boost your immune system.
Well, I'd like to talk about what not to do. Okay, because we would also see that there's still a lot of people consuming things that could lead you to dehydration, including alcohol. Okay, maybe if you're a chronic smoker, maybe this is a time that you'd want to slow down or suspend your smoking, because then that can compromise your immune system and make you a higher risk for the coronavirus. Also, maybe slow down on caffeine. Okay. Black tea, which also is high in caffeine, soft drinks, which are things that tend to dehydrate you a lot.
So stay hydrated. That's key. I've also read that sometimes just ensuring you get enough sleep and your 30 minutes of exercise a day is great for your immune system.
Yes. Also, research has shown that people that sleep less than 6 hours tend to have a lower immune system than those that get up to 8 hours of sleep. So sleep is important, exercise is important, and then trying not to stress too much, because stress levels also impacts the immune system.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a lot to ask for.
At this time, yes, it is.
What about our elderly? You know, they're the ones who are most at risk in terms of the severity of the illness. And while all of us can get it, their immune system just isn't as strong as it was when they were younger. Is there anything extra we can do with our elderly population, or people over 60, I should say? Okay.
Well, with them, we can use as an exception for taking these types of supplements. However, you'd want to bring it up to your doctor, especially like if you have diabetes, or you have heart disease, or you have problems with consuming any of the foods that have any of these nutrients. Then with them, we could probably start them on any type of these vitamins. Okay, but for the younger population, it's not really necessary.
So diabetics, hypertensive, cancer, people with renal issues or kidney problems, and
HIV patients.
Yes.
And even asthmatics are very much at risk. So these populations need to discuss with their doctor what they can incorporate into their diet to boost their immune system. Yeah?
Yes.
All right. Any final advice?
Yes. Well, we just want to go over what foods we can include in the diet. So maybe it is recommended to start off your morning with a glass of orange juice.
Okay.
At least 2 squeezed oranges in the cup. Okay. Followed by a glass of milk, which has vitamin D. Maybe snack on some nuts, especially cashew. Okay. Try to include a lot of green vegetables with your meal at midday. Okay. And then the same thing at night. So try to eat a lot more healthier. Exercise regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then try not to overdo on the supplements.
So here I love that. So we got several things. If we could change our eating habits to include 2 oranges a day, a handful of cashew, green vegetables. What was the other one that you said?
It could even be sweet potatoes, milk, as
Milk.
well, a glass
Thank
of
you.
milk.
The fortified milk for your vitamin D. All right. So these are the things we want to get into our diet, get some of the nutrients that we need to build our immune system. So if and when we come in contact with the virus, our body is stronger to fight it. Thank you so much, Doris.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take that final break. When we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned.